Hi YouTube, Engineer Boy 100. Guess what? Well, took the Porsche out for a nice little ride today, and I really enjoyed it. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. Rolled down the window to get a little bit of fresh air. It felt awesome. And then the window would not go back up. So I'm gonna pop the door open, take it apart, and see what we can do to fix it. Let's get started. All right, so let's start with taking this piece here off. I think just pry this off from what I've seen. I'm not even sure. See what kind of see what kind of reactions I get as I gently tug on it. See if I get any movement that makes sense before I apply any. Look at that. Looks like it's kind of coming off. Yeah, and I'm sliding up, and there we go. So this came off nicely, and well, it doesn't look like I have to take this loose to take the door off. This can probably just stay here, but I don't want it in the way. So I think I'll take this loose. There's something further. Oh, there's two little things you have to depress. It looks like here. I don't know. Or maybe the whole thing comes unplugged. Comes out this way. I don't know what's going on here. Oh yeah, and then you can, I think, push on this. There's like a little piece here. You can push on. I think. Am I lying? Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Yeah, let me figure that out and then turn the camera back on because there's little things to push here. I'm almost getting ready to leave this alone because it's not critical to what we're doing right now. I mean, it probably would be good to know, but I don't know which way I'm supposed to do it. Oh, wait a minute. Pull up on these? What the heck? These are so weird. You don't want to break these stupid little things because then you have a whole nother job on your hands. Let me see. I'm going to try to hold. There's one on either side. So I think one's for one plug and one's for the other. Yeah, you just pull up. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, snap. Let's see which way. Huh. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's a little catch. Where's it? There's a catch on here. See if I can get that to focus. Okay, and then you push this in to let go of the catch. Which end is it? Let's see. You go in. Yeah. So you want to push down this way. As the wires are here, you want to push on this side to release this from these hooks to get this off. Then this should just come out the back, and you can remove this so it doesn't get damaged or scratch your door. Put this back through like that, and then you're free. All right, next. All right, so next there's a series of screws. One's behind here. There's one I think that's behind here, and there's one behind this, and there's one inside here. Then this whole thing should just slide up and off. So let's see what happens. Take my little plastic gizmo. I want to try to get this off without scratching. See if I can gently press. And I have the battery disconnected so that we don't deploy the airbag messing around. So I strongly suggest, if you try to do this, that you disconnect the battery first. And this one doesn't, I don't know if mine, looks like it wants to come off, but I don't want to scratch. Let's see if I do it from this end. Jeez. Really kind of stuck, so I'm glad you see that. Yeah, this one's probably never been out before. And yeah, there is not a torch though, it's an Allen. Alright. Yeah. Don't want to break it. Okay, gently, gently. We go around, work our way up, up. And there should be some screws underneath this. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so in the handle there are two screws. Both are T30. See? T30, T30. And now I'm going to go ahead and take off this little light down here on the bottom. Right here. Okay, and I'll take everything loose, all the screws, and see if the door comes off. So let's do that next. Well, that was super easy. Alright. Let's get those bolts off and see if you can remove that panel. Alright guys, a quick little interlude. This is the new regulator. Okay. And this is the bottom piece that the motor plugs into. The little geared part. And up here on the top there are two screw locations. One's here. If I should turn it over and let you actually see the screws. Okay, so I have it turned over, and here is the, see this bolt right here? That and this one, okay? Those two bolt locations are, they squeeze. Let me turn it over again now, it's easier to see on the other side. Oh man, I'm sorry. Alright, so turn it over. This is where the window sits. Okay, the window sits in here. Okay, and this screw tightens and squeezes it to hold it. Okay, same with the other side. You have that bolt, here's the bolt, and this little rubber part here, it's where the window gets squeezed. So, when I take the panel off and I loosen those two bolts, the reason we just loosen it is, we're just loosening it enough to slide the window out. Okay, so you don't want to take those screws all the way out and have them fall off in your door. It's probably not the end of the world. You probably just fish them out, but why? You're just loosening up those two clamps is basically what they are. They're just clamps that hold the window, hold the glass portion of the window, and we just want to release those so we can take the window out and the regulator out separately. Alright, so let's take that panel off and get to that. I guess there's some insulation back there, some sound dampening insulation. Remove that and remove the glass and the regulator. Alright, so now we're going to remove those that 4mm hex and the 30mm Torx screws. 4mm hex first, right here. Alright, get that. Switch over to these two hexes here. Long. Wow, look at that. So this is the one on the bottom. And here's the one on the top. And the last screw is behind the release handle. So if you pull that back, it's just a regular Phillips screw there. And I think that's it. Doke. Okay, I gotta admit, popping the bottom half of this door cover off took a lot of effort. Much tighter than I had expected. So, but it will come. You just have to really kind of persuade it. As you can see, it's like a very tight type of deal. Where I kind of feel like you feel like it's being held by another screw. And it's very tight. I think I have one more over here. Maybe there is a screw. I don't know. I got that one. But yeah, ouch. It's tight. So let me finish popping that last one loose, and then I'll let you watch me lift it off. Alright, I think I popped them all loose. I think there was one in the middle here. So you kind of have to support yourself on either side and kind of pull toward the center to get that last one to pop loose. When I get it off, we'll look behind there and see where it was. So let's do that now. Lift this off here. Like that. Yeah, I think there's some connected wires. This stuff's connected here. Yeah, the door latch. So that's pretty easy. Give you a shot of that real quick. And then there is, what is this? I don't know what this is. Another little couple of wires that just need to pull out. And it's going to be easier to show you after. Pull that one. And pull this one out to show you. Oh, there's a little light. A little light or something. Yeah. And then now I want to show you the door latch though while it's still connected, so you can see what it is. Let me get the camera. Okay, so here's the door latch. You just push these, or you can just pull it towards you, squeeze, pull, and then this just works. You just kind of work this around to get it out. The little wire part like that. All right, so that is the door latch, and that's what it looks like. All right, and now we're free. Now there's two little wires here and here, okay, and they are over here on the side. I'll show you on the other side. Okay, so here's a view from the other side. Here is the door latch release, okay, and what it looks like. And here are the two wires. And they just pull out. There's nothing else holding them. They have little guides. There's a white one and a black one. Alright, so we got to take off this noise dampener next and fish all of these wires nicely through and take the window out and take the regulator out. Alright, so here's the panel. Remember what I said? I thought there was something holding in the middle? Well, there was. I missed one. There is a screw in here, and it's going to be kind of hard to see with the door in place. So what I suggest you do is go in here, pull this pin so that you can remove this door. Alright, so there we go. So I got that pin pulled. So here's the pin. Pull that pin, and then you can take the door out. Pull out the back end, and then you can remove the door. Now once the door is out, there's a little plastic screw in here that I want you to see it, because I missed it. See there? Right in the middle, there's a little plastic screw. That screws out and releases, and turn it around. It's right here. You unscrew and then pull the fitting through too. Unscrew and pull the fitting. And that will release that center portion that I struggled with. Alright, so let's get back to the door panel. This is that screw in the middle. That's what it looks like in the fitting. Alright, so after you take all the screws loose, there are 9 little pieces that you have to pop loose around the outskirts. So here they are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so those are all of the little pieces that have to pop loose to get that panel off. Look who came to visit, guys. Mr. Enzo, our magnet expert extraordinaire. All right, let's get back to working on the door. Now we're just going to take off this sound barrier. You don't want to rip it. Take your time. You don't have to. You don't have to rip it. If you rush, you might rip it, but you don't have to rip it. Just take your time and be careful, and it'll look much nicer when you put it back on. No rush. Next, we're going to go ahead and take off the door speaker. It just has one electrical connector and 6 T20 Torx screws. Do that next. Electrical connector, you just push in on this part and pull it out. Okay. And then you have your 6 Torx. And that's all you have to take off to be able to remove your sound barrier. And then we'll have to take off the airbag because the sound barrier goes behind it. Once again, make sure the battery is disconnected before you do anything with the airbag. Did I say that? Make sure that you disconnect your battery before messing with the airbag. Alright, so the airbag electrical connector has a little catch on the back of it right here, okay? Right here. And to get this to slide out of this track, you must push this little piece to one side to release the barb, okay? I don't even know if you have to take it off the track, but it's easier to take this part loose, and to take this piece loose, all you do is pull. Okay, you just pull it loose, and if you want, once you've done that, you can just put this back in the little track. It'll snap in, just and it'll stay. Or you can push it, but it's either, I don't know. Either way, I guess you could do it this way and just pull it out. I think, yeah, you can just pull it out that way too. So anyway, either way, that's how you take loose the electrical connector on the airbag. And then there are 4 10mm bolts that will release the airbag so that we can finish taking off the sound barrier. In removing the sound barrier, I'm going to do the bottom half first so that the top is not flopping down in my way. And then I'll do the top half. I tug on the glue so that I don't put any strain on the sound barrier, so then I don't rip it. And just take your time and work all the way around. The rate that I'm going to go ahead and say in advance that removing the sound barrier is probably the longest and most tedious part of this job, but not destroying it is going to be well worth it. So I'm going to take my time. Here's an example of how I put pressure on the glue but not on the sound barrier. You want to take your tool and pull on the glue, or push even on the glue. Don't pull on. Just use this as a guide, very lightly, and that'll keep you from tearing and destroying your sound barrier. Put all the pressure, either pushing or pulling, on the glue, not on the sound barrier. If you do that, it'll come off, and you can put your sound barrier back on, and it'll look just like new. Alright, I was able to release the adhesive from the perimeter of the sound barrier. Now I'm going to take it out and snake out the wire and the electrical connector for the airbag. Now I'm going to manually raise the window up so that I can unbolt it and remove it. I'm going to have to line up those two screws with the holes so that I can loosen them a bit and then remove the glass. Those are the screws that I showed you before on the regulator, the new regulator, that you just loosen a bit to loosen the clamps on the glass. There's some holes that they line up with, and I think they're 10 millimeter. So we'll see. So I can't get the window all the way up manually, so I'm going to have to reconnect the battery and try and get the motor to help me. I'll probably get an airbag light because the airbag is disconnected, but I would rather get an airbag light than accidentally deploy that airbag, so I'm going to leave it disconnected. That'll be your call. I have a whole bunch of code readers, so I should probably be able to clear that, but I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to reconnect the battery and try and manually and with the switch get that window up a little bit higher so that those screws that hold the glass line up with the holes and I can remove it. Alright, so I did manage to get the window all the way up by pulling on it manually and alternately hitting the switch. And yes, I did get the old airbag light, but I'm not worried about it. We'll deal with that later. Alright, so now all we have to do is remove the two black plugs and loosen, not remove, loosen the screws on the clamps that are holding the window. In my car, I guess it's OEM, those screws take a 30 Torx. Okay, a T30 Torx. The replacement one has 10 millimeter size head bolts. So I might switch them out if they have the same thread pitch. I might switch them out and keep my OEM screws so it looks OEM. But anyway, let me show you where those little plugs are, and then we're going to go ahead and loosen, not remove, loosen those T30 Torx screws. This one's right here. They come off real easy. And one is right here. Well, I already took that one off, so it's a little easier. But they're not difficult. You don't even need a screwdriver. Now I'm going to see if I can find that screw and loosen it. Should be able to take the window out. Sorry, I'm going to get in front of you here. And now it should just slide out. And there you have it. I'm going to leave it dirty because it shows me where to align these little clamps. Alright, so now I'm going to take off 4 Phillips screws that are holding on the speaker in the sound film, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and move that out of the way so the regulator can come down and out, and the new one can go up and in. See, I don't do everything with the power tool. I do things manually sometimes. And I have a power screwdriver. More than one. I was just too lazy to go get them. It should come out this way. Sure. And then I have to wiggle it out. And like so. There you go. Now I'm going to remove the 3 nuts that mount the motor, and I should be able to work the old regulator out. I'll take the electrical connector off of the motor. Squeeze on either side here, like this. Pull it out. Alright, so the motor is going to have to be transferred to the other regulator. So the mount bolts that we just took the nuts off of go all the way through and they hold on this plate. So you gotta have to use a 13 millimeter here to take these loose to release this plate so you can take the motor and put it on the other regulator. So you're just gonna have to basically take these loose like so, all three of them, and then you're going to use them to mount the motor on the other regulator. And they should come out like that. Alright guys, okay, so there's two more bolts or nuts you have to take off, and they're underneath the door. So let's go take a look at those now. Down. Looky, looky. Right there, okay? And these little caps, there's a cap that covers that hole that looks just like the one next to it. Okay, so you have to pull those caps out, little plastic caps, and then take these two 10 millimeter nuts off of the bottom. I did not know they were there. All right, onwards and upwards. All right, I took those last two 10 millimeter nuts out from underneath the bottom, so I should be able to get that regulator out now. Let's see. Got a zip tie here. Probably need to cut that with something. This thing is falling apart down in here. Well, I need to get the zip tie loose before I go any further. This thing is falling apart. Eesh. Yep. This is definitely a problem. Oh, goodness. Alright, so I'm getting ready to install the new regulator and motor. The four corners, you see these little black nipples here. All they are is thread protectors. They're little rubber things to come off. And these are your threads for underneath the bottom. Okay, there's one here and one here. Okay, you're going to put these, take these little rubber things off, and then, I don't know why I'm putting it back on, but anyway, and then at the top, these are your two studs. Okay, take the rubber thing off. That comes through the door at the top for those 10 millimeter nuts. They're little mount nuts at the top. And I'm just putting these on here to protect my threads. So we're going to go ahead and install that. Just letting you know that's what those are. And that is what I will be doing. Then it will be on with the alignment phase. After we put the window in, tighten it up. My bolts here are 10 millimeter on the new one, whereas on the original I had Torx. See the difference in what the configuration is for that. I guess this one's to the other side, something like that. So Torx and 10 millimeter. I was going to swap them out, but the Torx is too short. It's not long enough to go through the way the new one is designed. So let's get on with it. Take all these little nipples off. To the top, to the bottom, and then there's going to be three studs coming through from the motor. So you're going to have a total of 7 10 millimeter nuts. So let's see if I can get this little guy to go in for me. Pretty flexible, so it should be pretty easy. This piece install a nut to hold it for me if I'm going all over creation. And we're going to get this side top. Get this top piece. Move this over. Oop. Nuts. Our things are kind of lining up. Okay, so we got this one. Very good. Put it on there nice and loose. Put it on there loose so I can have some wiggle room for the other until I get them all on. So this is up. And hopefully we can get 3. Matter of fact, I should probably put this electrical connector on first while it's down. So let's do that while it's down. There we go. There. On the motor so that I don't have to try and do it while it's up in there. Got that on. Now, gotta see if I have the right orientation. There we go. So we got the mount studs through from the motor. 1 to go. Shouldn't be too hard. Keep these light, just nice and loose. And next we're going to put the window back in and kind of tighten that up, and then we have to align it. That should be interesting. Let's see if I can. There we go. Well, everything's lining up, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say they gave me the right part. And that is always good, to have the right part. Alright guys, all done. Just got to button her up. Window goes up and down nicely, seals, and door opens and closes. And window comes down to allow opening and closing. So demonstrate that now. And I got the noise isolator reinstalled with no damage. Looks like new. Alright guys, final note, for those who are wondering, I was able to clear that airbag light with the Durametric under tools. Took about 8 seconds. Alright, good luck to anybody who tries this, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So there you have it. That's how you change your regulator, your window, in a Porsche 996 Turbo. Thanks for watching.